Would you still buy the iPhone 17 if it cost $50 more? That's the big question on everyone's mind after a new report hinted at a price hike for Apple's upcoming iPhones. And if you've been paying attention to what's happening in the tech world and global politics, this was almost expected. Let's talk about what's going on and why your next iPhone might cost more even before you upgrade any storage or pick a Pro model. So according to investment firm Jefferies, Apple is getting ready to bump up the price of every phone in the iPhone 17 series by at least $50. And no, this isn't about fancy new features or a premium design. It's mostly about tariffs and rising production costs. For now, the $50 seems to be the minimum increase, and it could go up even more depending on how things unfold. Over the next few months, the base iPhone 17, the iPhone 17 Pro, and the newly rumored iPhone 17 Air, all of them could see this price hike. The iPhone 16 lineup actually managed to hold the same price as the iPhone 15. That surprised a lot of people considering how expensive everything else is getting. But Apple might not be able to hold back anymore. Component prices have gone up, and tariffs on imported goods have made it harder to keep costs low. Now here's where politics come in. Under President Trump's current trade policy, tariffs are affecting Apple more than before. Even though Apple is trying to move some of its production to India, it's still heavily tied to China. That's where the problems start. The president has even directly pointed to Apple's CEO, Tim Cook, saying he wants Apple to build iPhones in the United States. While that might sound patriotic, it also makes it harder and more expensive for Apple to do business like it used to. Apple's response has been to slowly shift some production out of China, but it's not enough to avoid the impact of these new tariffs. In comparison, Samsung, Apple's biggest competitor in the premium smartphone market, moved much of its production out of China a while ago. That's why Samsung hasn't been hit as hard by the same rules. But here's the twist. Samsung phones are already slightly more expensive than iPhones in some markets. So if Apple adds $50 to the price of its phones, that gap might not be a deal breaker for most people, at least not yet. Still, there's another challenge. Many users aren't happy with how the iPhone 17 Pro looks. Some people feel the new design isn't as sleek or exciting as previous models. Combine that with a price hike, and you can see how this lineup might get a cold reception. But let's be honest, people have said this before, and yet Apple's sales numbers keep going up every year,